I predict a Duke's victory.
Welcome to another episode of the Crush Fantasy Football Podcast. We have a big Thanksgiving show for everybody. But first, Ashton, welcome to the pod.
What's up? Happy to be here.
Ecstatic to be here.
Ecstatic to be here.
It's a Thanksgiving treat that you never expected or wanted.
Exactly. The best early Christmas gift I could have asked for.
Dude, tell the people a little bit about yourself.
Yeah, so I met James at JMU and moved out to Denver.
The shirt.
Yeah, repping,
we
dude.
didn't even plan that.
And then joined him and a bunch of others in the league, in our Crush Dynasty League, 4 years ago now, 4.5 years, something like that. And then immediately joined the league, and I took over the orphan squad from another team. So kind of started from there, and now we're here in a podcast.
Dude, the only orphan we've ever had, hopefully the only one we will ever have. Shout out Alex Wilson. No, the real reason that today is the best day to have you on is, did you know this? That I read the Morning Brew, I think yesterday or 2 days ago, that the day before Thanksgiving is the second biggest weed day of the entire year.
Wow.
Did you
Good to
know that?
know. I did not know that.
Dude, I was hoping, I'm like,
Perfect.
you might have been participating before the pod.
Yeah.
That's the content we need.
Perfect guest for the pod then.
I didn't believe it, but hey, the stats are the stats, and I'm not going to second guess it. All right, you listen to the pod. We're going to get started like we always do with a little Take Montezuma, sponsored by Soiree Season. Soiree Season, if you're tired of your...
My bad.
Soiree, no, you're good, dude. That's something Soiree Season will fix. Dude, if you tune into Soiree Season, you won't drop things. You won't misplace wedding registry items. Use promo code CrushFF. We're going to get a live working link in December, according to Tatum. You're the guest. As always, the guest starts Take Montezuma, so fire us up.
Let's do it. I have a football-related one.
Ooh.
And I originally wrote this early in the season, but I think overall it still applies. So Puka Nacua was the most disrespected player in Dynasty coming into this season. In the preseason, Jason Jefferson, they're in their usual tier of their own with like CD, Neighbors, Amon-Ra right behind them. But Puka's deserved to be in that conversation for at least a year, I think. And people didn't really get hip until this season. So he's younger than Jamar, Jeddah's, CD, Amon-Ra, has a similar or better points per game since 2023. He's higher than all of them in like whatever advanced stat you like, yards per out run, first down, and all that. So I know he's got the injuries, some QB questions, but he's just so good that I think he deserves to be in that tier.
So he's definitely in that tier. So I don't think anyone's questioning that at this point. You're just saying that it took too long for him to get to that tier.
Yeah, like I emphasized that he was the most disrespected because like I never heard a peep on the trade lines for him other than
me.
You occasionally, you would throw me once or twice. You'd be like, "What about Puka?" And like, I wouldn't have accepted anything. So it doesn't really matter that people didn't hit me up about it. But I was still surprised that like I was like, really, no one wants to hit me up about Puka? Like I'm rebuilding. No one's gonna throw me like a couple firsts or something. But yeah, again, not that I would have accepted, but still crazy.
I think it's fairly explainable. Not that it's right. I just think it's explainable. Late round pick, it always takes people a little, like the extra half a year to believe it. And then Stafford's back to start the year, which was legitimately scary. I told Dolan when we were ranking top 10 receivers, I'm like, Puka would be number 3 for me. Like they brought in that cryo chamber. I'm like, I can't put him at number 3. Like that shit's scary, right? And so that was my hesitation coming in. But I think it's explainable. So the real question, though, is where do you have him now? Not what tier, what number, dynasty receiver.
I have him 2 to Jamar Chase. If you had asked me a couple weeks ago, he would have been 1, I think. But Jamar's come out that like he's shown he can do it with Flacco and just like some terrible quarterbacks too. So I'll give Jamar the historical award or historical benefit of the doubt there. But yeah, I think Puka's number 2. JSN recently
That was the argument I was gonna try to
is third, and then I still have Jefferson in there barely. Again, kind of giving him historical benefit of the doubt, and then Neighbors too. Even with the knee, I think Neighbors is just a dog, and he's got what looks to be a decent quarterback now. But it's also hard not to put CD and Amon-Ra like
right
at
there.
that fifth slot. So yeah,
the only one that I'm I think I could make a Neighbors argument. I'm not sure I want to make a Neighbors, but I think the fact that Stafford, and if Stafford plays 4 more years, right, and defies all of it, then this is all a stupid point. But I think he needs Stafford to be in that tier, and I'm not sure how long Stafford's going to play, and so I don't know. I might go Neighbors with, even though we haven't really seen it, but that's the one that I think you would. So you wouldn't trade Puka for Neighbors straight up? If Tanner's like, yeah, let's do it.
No, I don't think I would.
Yeah, fair.
But this is kind of to my point, is like when, like early in this season, even when Puka was going off, like I had hit him up about, is Malik Neighbors available in any capacity? And he was like, I don't know, is Puka available? And I was like, it'd be a similar price as Neighbors. And he seemed like shocked that would be the case. And it's like, it's Puka, you know what I mean? Like, I think that's kind of where I'm coming from with it too. But I get your point too on Stafford. Like, I'd be more concerned if McVay was leaving than if Stafford was leaving, because I don't think they would leave McVay without like the way they'd go into a season with just Jimmy G. And if they were, then like McVay would have to be cooking up something crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think like a lot of people think that Puka would go from being exceptional to like terrible with the QB downgrade. I just think he'd go to like from exceptional to like good to like to very good even.
Right.
And
it'd be like what Jefferson is doing with McCarthy right now, or like what Jamar did with Jake Browning. Like he'd still be a locked in wide receiver at worst 2 on your roster, but like
All right, my take Montezuma was not football related. I was even considering not doing one for the sake of time, but it's the Thanksgiving season, and this, I don't know if it's spicy take. You tell me. I think the Ocean Spray jellied cranberry, like the little wiggle one, is far superior to any of the fresh cranberry dishes that I've ever had in my entire life. Like, by far. I think there are, like, heavy hitters on a Thanksgiving plate. Turkey, mashed potatoes, sweet potatoes, whatever. And you need something sweet that stands out, like, really sweet. And that's, like, a little bit of that jellied stuff. Just, like, it's the perfect dollop on any bite. And I'm just, like, the fresh stuff, it feels too organic, for lack of a better word. And so, I don't know. I just love the jellied. I like the shape. I like the ridges on the outside, the way it wiggles when you, like, pour it out of the can, and I think it is the best cranberry, bar none.
Nice. I don't think you're necessarily in the minority with that opinion though. Like I feel like I hear,
ooh,
yeah, maybe that's the spicy take. No, I'm not like a huge cranberry sauce guy, so I'm not like the one to comment on this. Yeah, I can't even really talk. Exactly. So, like I had to give a player comp.
Oh yeah.
For cranberry sauce, I have Bo Nix as my player comp because I've never been a fan, but some rate it way higher.
He's like a perfect complement to like a great coach, a great defense. It's like, oh yeah, some like a little
Bo Nix on top.
Bo Nix is a jellied cranberry who's a homemade cranberry sauce. Like, who's worse than Bo Nix?
I think it'd just be the same. Like, I just don't. Like, I'm not a cranberry sauce
McCarthy
guy. Yeah.
All right, take Montezuma, sponsored by Soiree Season, Thanksgiving edition. Does Soiree Season have any Thanksgiving promos, you're probably asking? I do not know. There's no working website yet, so we don't know, but they could. Maybe
check them out for
Black Friday deals. Dang, I wish I thought of that. Black Friday deals. All right, so we're going to get started. We have a big pod. We're going to do half football, half Thanksgiving on today's episode. But Ashton, we're going to start kind of, as you said, you're a critical member. I guess everyone's a critical member of Crush City's Dynasty League. So what people have been doing when they come on the pod is a kind of a roster review. What are your goals, strategies, and a little bit overview of your roster. And I think yours is a little different because I think you're probably the second best rags to riches story, maybe the best, depending on how you feel about Johnny's thing. that we've seen in this league. So if you could just give the people kind of the history, maybe not all the way back, but just like how you went from like, hey, this isn't going so well to now you're really contending. You're probably going to make the playoffs this year, and it's a kind of a great turnaround.
Yeah. So like we mentioned at the start, I joined as an orphan team, so I didn't get to draft any of my players, which is the only team in the league that came in with that situation. Not that I was left like some terrible options. I liked it enough to stay, but I dug myself into a little bit of a hole first time playing Dynasty with that roster, so I didn't I maybe started middle of the pack and then made some moves like trading a first for AJ Dillon and a third. Like that was a pretty rough move to start off.
I forgot about that one.
Yeah, so there was that one. I traded away Jalen Hurts before we switched to Superflex, so that bit me for a couple seasons. And then I misread a trade for Jerry Jeudy where I sent my 2024 instead of my 2023 pick, and that ended up being pick 3, which was Jaden Daniels, and I ended up with Jerry Jeudy. So there were some moments along the way where we stumbled, but we bounced back, and last year was rough. I appreciated Luke's segment when he was a guest on the pod, because talking about making lineup decisions was just really struck a chord with me. Like starting Josh Palmer at the, as a reliable flex 2 option, which was just pathetic at the time.
He's the Bills' number 1 receiver right now.
Yeah, dude, I was talking myself into all that. So then this offseason I really came in like, all right, I want to contend in 2026. This is like not a roster I think that can really get there in 2025 unless things go really right, but 26 is going to be my year. So I wanted to set up quarterback for the long term. I had Bryce Young and Justin Fields, drafted Drake May. So obviously kept May, but I just didn't trust Bryce and Fields. So, especially long term, not even just short term, like Fields you could talk yourself into with some of the like rushing upside and everything. But yeah, Bryce,
I sure tried to. We tried to.
Yeah, I know.
We too.
Yeah. And, Bryce, like he had his flashes, but he is just a tough watch. And it was hard rooting for him back in the day, so I'm glad I offloaded him. And then my next priority was just taking shots at young wide receivers. I think they just tend to last longer than running backs and can be more impactful than tight end, depending on who you have at tight end. So took Ibuka in the draft. That's panned out, but still feel like I need like one more reliable wide receiver to really slide into that flex 2 spot.
Here, I don't want to throw you off, so I don't know if you're going to do this, but let me go through. I went through your draft picks, and it's essentially one really good pick that's still a contributor every year, and then you crushed it in 23. So I'm going to quickly just give the overview for the listeners. 22, Pickens 11th overall. I don't think that was that wasn't a reach. That was just like a good value, and a guy who I think you would probably say hasn't worked out that well until, or like okay, and then this year's obviously a home run. 23 is where you really crush it. Laporta, 15th overall, Chase Brown, 28th overall, and then Puka, like you said, 31st overall. That's the year like it really flipped. You had real assets like Laporta and Chase Brown. You flipped for first at this point, and then Puka's obviously like the cornerstone of your team.
Yeah, keep a candle lit for Tank Dell in 2023 too.
And Tank,
my sweet prince is coming back 2026.
He's coming back potentially. Yeah, we'll see. Drake May, 4th overall in 24, and then Ibuka 7th overall in 25, and you have a couple others in 25 that have the potential to hit. So I feel like that's like 23 like is like when the fortune like really changed. You had hit on essentially the 2 best late round picks maybe ever, but at least in the conversation.
Really, it's Puka. Like if I didn't have Puka on my squad, this would be a much different looking team. Like I'd still feel decent about my chances, but I wouldn't feel like I was like a legit, playoff contender, championship contender without having that top 5 cornerstone kind of guy.
Yeah, give the overview of your starting lineup real quick, just because I'm not savvy enough to put it on the screen.
No, you're good. So I have Justin Herbert and Drake May as my quarterback in Superflex. My running backs, my new running back room as of last week is Breece Hall, Travis Etienne, Jalen Warren, Tajay Spears, and then there's a couple like fringe guys like Tank Bigsby, DJ Giddens, just like upside shots. Starting receivers, I've got Puka, Ibuka, Pickens, and then Worthy and Travis Hunter kind of rounding out that group. And then again, just some like upside shots, not including Keon Coleman anymore. Going into the season, I was hoping that could be one. And then tight end, I've got McBride. So that's been a trade that panned out well and it's felt good.
We're going to talk about that trade.
And then I have Loveland too, so he's kind of my ticket up in the off season is kind of how I'm viewing him potentially. But I'm also not afraid to.
Last week.
I know, but I'm not afraid to run 12 personnel if I have to either. So get the tight ends involved, and then that's my lineup. So I think my strongest is Herbert, May, Brees, Etienne, Puka, Igbuka, Pickens, and then rounding out flex 2 is like Jalen Warren, Worthy, Travis Hunter when he's healthy.
So you said it to start like your overview. You're like, okay, I'm like, whatever happens in 25 happens. I want to contend in 26. Obviously, you made some moves this year, and we'll go over those in a second, to contend in 25. So when did it flip for you? Like, when were you like, wait, this team's actually good enough to like push a couple dominoes to the right, and it's like, hey, maybe I can get in the playoffs, and then once you get in the playoffs, who knows what happens? So when did you make that decision?
Yeah, I didn't really make that decision till like probably 2 or 3 weeks ago. Because really I was viewing it as like, all right, let's stack the other positions and then figure out running back when we're like really ready to compete. And if there's a younger running back that fits that timeline that comes along that's like also productive, then that's great. And that was what Brees Hall ended up being. But really it wasn't until like 2-3 weeks ago, because I had a couple like tough matchups on the schedule that I wasn't sure if I would slide into the playoffs or if I would end up like third to last again, just off of like fluky schedule and stuff like that.
Can I disagree with you, or not disagree with you, but explain to me?
Yeah.
Because I think the trade that changed your season going back is this. I think after week 1, so before week 2, keep me honest, you traded Justin Fields, your 26 first, 27 second, for Trey McBride and Jalen Warren. Trey McBride's obviously a stud, second best at his position, and then Jalen Warren's like a really capable player at a position of need, and you gave up your first. If you thought for sure this team had like no chance and a 101, would you have still given up your first just because Trey McBride's so good? Or were you really kind of hoping back then even like, hey, this team might be better than I thought?
That's fair, actually. Yeah, it was like, I think that makes a lot of sense, because I was viewing that trade, like part of why I was comfortable giving up my first was like, I'm not going to give up this first that could potentially be a 101 or 102 if things like fall the wrong way. Unless I feel like I'm getting a guy who will like guarantee essentially that that's like a mid, maybe late pick. So that's fair. That's fair pushback, I think.
That's the trade that changed your season. Cause I'm like, the guys you were gonna have to play, like Tajay Spears, Brashard Smith in that RB2 slot versus Jalen Warren.
Yeah.
And then just Trey McBride being
over Mark Andrews
this year.
Yeah.
No, he's the best tight end this year. And so I'm like, that vaulted your team to not the top echelon, I don't think, but like that next, like you're definitely in the mix after that trade.
Yeah, I think that's fair.
I do also want to hit on your most recent trade. So Brees, so let me see if I have this right. You traded Brees for Neal's 26 first, which for people listening is essentially one of the 3 last picks, right? It's a late first. A 26 second, that's yours, I think. You keep me honest. And then Brashard Smith for Brees Hall. I assume you didn't make that trade because you thought the piece for like this year. I assume you did some kind of calculus like, oh, I'm going to get 3 to 4 usable years out of Brees. And so when you made that trade, did you think about where he would be next year?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, the dream spot is obviously Kansas City. I think Chicago's up there for sure as a good landing spot. And sneaky dream spot that I don't think would happen just because of salary reasons would be Dallas. Like if they didn't re-sign Javonte and wanted to just like supercharge the offense again. Like, again, I don't think that's what they would do, but just letting my mind wander, that would be a fun one. But I also thought, like, if he does end up at the Jets again, like, we've still seen how that situation works. Like, it's been so bad of a situation for him that, like, if he goes back for another year, he's for sure not going back the year after that. And he'll still be, like, he's young enough that I think he's got 2-3 years at least ahead of him, which again was why I was comfortable giving up that first and adding on my second as well. And then Brashard Smith was just kind of the sweetener.
Throw in.
Yeah.
It's funny. My two favorite landing spots, I mean, Chiefs aside, right? Chiefs.
Yeah. Chiefs is like the most obvious one, but
that's the most obvious one. I think my two favorite landing spots are the Commanders or the Broncos for him.
Ooh. I thought about those two. Commanders, I think more so than the Broncos. I wouldn't want like RJ Harvey, Breece Hall, Sean Payton shenanigans. Like that would just drive me crazy.
Yeah.
But Washington would be interesting for sure. They seem to still like doing a committee, but also if you have a guy like Breece Hall in the building, like, do you really stick to that? And then I also thought about Houston potentially. But
the O-line.
I feel like Houston just has way bigger fish to fry than signing Breece Hall versus like an entire O-line.
You said it, and I'm just curious because people say this. So why would everyone's like, oh, he could get tagged or he could be gone? Why wouldn't they bring him back for like a real long term? Is it because you think they like Braylon Allen and Isaiah Davis, or you just think it's like they tried it, they've worn out the welcome, it hasn't gone perfectly for him, so like he'll want to go somewhere else?
Yeah, I think it's more the latter. He just seems like so unhappy there that like I'm more concerned about like him holding out than I am than him like getting franchise tagged, you know, like because I've been burned by Le'Veon Bell in redraft in years past, so that still stings 10 years later. But yeah, I could see like that would be worst case scenario with Breece, is if he just held out for a year and then just went somewhere the next, because he just seems like done with that org.
Okay, two more trades I kind of wanted to talk about, but first let's do the one like we have to talk about, our trade.
Oh yeah.
I gave you Justin Herbert and Tank Bigsby for the 25-101, so Ashton Genty, and a 25 third-round pick. I think most people, even in Superflex, would be like, you take Ashton Genty. And I think especially with that's the one weakness, or let's call it the biggest weakness of your team, they would have even doubled down. But you went the other way, and I'm not saying it's a bad move.
No, I got you.
I'm curious what went into your thought process to be like, I mean, this was ballsy as shit, right? It's the 101. It's a guy that everybody said is a generational talent.
Same like, first name.
Trade.
Like,
yeah, same first name. That's your boy. So how did we come to make that trade?
Yeah, so the way I thought about it was like, Herbert is just a stud quarterback, and I did not want to be rolling out Bryce Young, Justin Fields, like Geno, Spencer Rattler. Like those were my only other options other than Drake May. So like I had to get a quarterback, and like that's never going to be cheap, especially for a guy that's in that upper tier. And this year did not feel like the year to be drafting a quarterback, and it did feel like there would be more opportunities for running backs in the draft. So I also had pick 6 and pick 11 in that draft. So I was thinking at the time we made the trade, it was like, what, late March, early April, something like that?
It was early. It was like you knew, was Genty even on the Raiders then? No. Because we did it before the draft. Yeah,
so I was thinking like, oh, well, there's going to be all these running backs, and, you know, pick 6, like I could probably get Travion Henderson or Quinshon Judkins there. And like, if I can secure my QB with the 101 pick, like it sucks to like lose out on Genty, but you get your quarterback for the next 10 years.
Yeah.
And then you take Judkins or Travion to like lock down the backfield at pick 6. That was kind of my thought process. And then that was also why I traded away Chase Brown for pick 8, thinking kind of along similar lines, or just to give myself a little more flexibility. I still didn't trust like that Chase Brown wasn't going to have like a running back added to that backfield and whatever. So, but that's just not how the rookie draft panned out. So like, that definitely threw a wrench in the original strategy, because I was like, shit, I was really banking on Quinshon basically at 6.
And just for some context for everybody else, in our league, Travion and Judkins went 3-4. And then so by the time you picked at 6, the next tier would have been there. So I think Caleb Johnson and Harvey
Yeah.
Scatterbo. Or I guess Scatterbo would have been a tier later, but it would have been a Travis Hunter versus essentially Caleb Johnson or Harvey calculus that you did.
Yeah. Yeah, pretty much.
And I feel like that's aged pretty well for all of your picks. For Loveland, for Igbuka, and for Hunter.
Yeah, I still go back and forth on like whether I regret the Hunter over Tet decision, because I was pretty set.
Regret that one.
Yeah, I was pretty set on Tet for a while in that offseason, but I just didn't.
I remember we talked about it.
I know, but I just didn't want to miss out on that upside of Travis Hunter, and I still think he's like. I thought we were just robbed from the injury. I feel like that breakout was about to come, but yeah, only regret there.
All right, last trade that I kind of want to touch, but more I just want to talk about this player. So you traded Bryce Young for a 26 first, Niels, a 26 third, a 26 fourth, and a 27 second to Neil. Obviously, this, like right now, that looks like a win for you. My real question, though, is how did you evaluate Bryce and how many years he has left as a starter when you made that trade?
Yeah, I loved what I saw at the end of last season. So I was like, I could feel myself talking myself into like, oh, maybe keep Bryce around. Like he's got some upside. He could be, like even the trade happened before he had Tet, but like they were talking about that in the draft potentially and whatever. So like, but it just, I don't know, it just felt like it was being forced. And then Neil was hitting me pretty hard with offers for Bryce, and no one else really was, and no one else was really biting on any other like if I'd offered you Bryce and pick 6 for Herbert, like you weren't going to take that. And so like I was getting stuck in a lot of those kind of situations, and it was like and then Dolan and I were at Three Dogs couple drinks in, I saw the trade offer. saw the offer sitting in my inbox, and I was like, Dolan, what do you think about this? This seems kind of crazy. Am I missing something? And he was like, you should accept that right now. And so that's what we did.
There we go.
It's aged well. It's aged well for sure. That's one, like, even without any prompting, I think I would have taken anyways, because like even at the time I was thinking of it as like, okay, Bryce's upside, like you're essentially getting a full draft class back. Like if everything goes right with Bryce, like that's still a pretty good haul. So I was comfortable with just sending it.
So do you think, how many years do you think he has left as a starter? Like an NFL starting quarterback, if you had to guess, right? So would you give it over or under? If I had like 1.5.
I would go under as a full season starter.
Wow.
I would go under. I think they'll give him next. I think they'd give him next year. But would his contract be up the year after that?
So I think they have to go him next year because I don't know who they're bringing in. They're not going to draft. They're not going to be in a position to draft anyone super high. But they have to make the decision on his 5th year option this May. And so what's going to be the interesting part is everybody says no way they'll accept the 5th year option. It will probably be in like the, I don't know, 25, 26 million range, which is low for a quarterback. But if it's it's still a huge number, right? For if it's a bad quarterback. And so that's going to be the interesting one because everyone says no way they'll accept it. And I'm like, I don't know. Like, what's the other option? Like bring in somebody terrible that hasn't worked out somewhere else. And it's like, is that better than just going one more year? But that's the thing I'm thinking about is like, maybe they will just take his 5th year option, give him 2 more years with Canales, and then draft somebody late either this year or 27, and then maybe that's the replacement. But I don't know. I think it's an interesting question.
That's kind of what I was like. I think I agree with a lot of that, and I wouldn't be surprised if they signed him for that 5th year option, but then drafted somebody in the 27 class. Like they give him basically next year to like ride it out, and then that's why I specified full season starter because I think like 27, like he might start as the starter, but like there'd be a guy behind him at that point, or another vet that's come on the market that they've been able to sign or something. But
yeah, I mean their issue's going to be they're seemingly too good to get that high of a pick. I mean, there's a chance they could win the South this year. Yeah. And I don't know. It's like they should be as good as those, maybe besides the Bucks, at least the Falcons and the Saints next year. So they'll probably win 6 to 9 games in 27. So it's like then you're dealing with the tier 2 27 quarterbacks, which might be awesome, right? Like the way that class is shaping up, but it might suck too. So it's, I don't know. I think he's going barely. I think he's going over 1.5. I don't know if it's all going to be with the Panthers.
Yeah. Would you, if Neil had offered you that for JJ McCarthy, looking back, would you have taken it?
Oh my God. I mean, I have the biggest regret, and he offered me more than that for
That's
JJ
what
McCarthy.
I thought.
Like,
yeah.
legitimately offered. No, I have big JJ McCarthy regrets. And what I can tell myself is like everybody freaks out over everything, and it's a long-term thing, and maybe like he still might have a chance to figure that out, but that might be just me coping.
Yeah.
Neil gave me a huge JJ McCarthy offer, essentially all his picks, and then Dolan even 5 weeks ago gave me a first for JJ offer, and I said no to it.
That's a tough one to say no to.
Yeah, no, I just think that everybody. Here's my general thesis, and do I regret it? 100%. But my general thesis is like we give up on everybody so quickly. These hype media cycles. It's like, oh, this guy's the worst person in the world. He'll never start. Probably the same thing that was happening with Baker Mayfield back like in Cleveland. The same thing that's happening with Darnold in New York, right? It's like we give up on everybody so quickly. He's played 5 freaking games, right? 6 at this point. That it's like maybe, like, who knows, right? Like, I have no freaking idea if Kevin O'Connell will figure this guy out. So it's like, what's going to hurt the most? If I trade him away and then he becomes good, that will hurt me the most. So I'm like, that's what I told myself. And I regret it. I should have traded him away.
That's fair. I do agree on your point that, like, we got to give these players more time. I mean, even, like, quarterback aside, which is, like, probably the hardest one and, like, the biggest case of, like, give them time. But also, like, the running backs. Like, everyone knew Travion was going to break out at some point. Like, I don't think it was ever a question of the talent, but there was still all kinds of chatter 8 weeks into the season. Like, yeah, he's cooked. Like, he's
Travis Hunter.
Exactly.
You just bury all these kids at like 8 weeks in, and I don't know. I get it. Yes, you have to change your opinions once you see stuff. I get it, but I don't know if you have to go as far as we go. I think JJ McCarthy's going to get another year. Honestly.
For sure.
Like I think they're going to sit him this week because it's the Seahawks, and they're going to, whether the concussion's real or not, whatever. I think they'll let him play against the 3 NFC East teams, see how that goes, right? Essentially build his confidence against the Giants, Cowboys, and Commanders. And it probably won't go that well, but I feel like they're going to go in with JJ and somebody next year is my thought. So
I think they'll sign like a vet. Yeah, I think they'll sign like a vet that's like decent enough, like same as what they did last year when they had like Daniel Jones off the scrap heap. But yeah, it's not looking great for him right now.
Damn, that's sad too. Every other quarterback in that draft, I guess Penix is no good. But the rest of them look sick, and so that sucks for your boy. All right, dude, that's enough football. Why we really came here, man. Fucking Thanksgiving. All right, here's what we're going to do. It's like rapid fire round, but let's go. What Thanksgiving dish is Jerry Judy?
Jerry Judy is corn casserole because he has flashes but never really delivers. So I could have been a little bit harsher. I thought about putting him down as a beet salad, but I really because I just hate beets, and that seemed like the worst thing on the list of whatever I got from the internet. But I was thinking maybe AJ Dillon. I'll throw it back and throw him as beet salad.
Beet salad. AJ Dillon's beet salad, dude. I don't even really know what corn casserole is. I'm picturing cornbread, but cornbread's good. Like what?
I think I'm picturing more.
Is it
more like creamed corn? Yeah,
Ew,
like the
disgusting.
the creamy with all the like kernels and not for me.
Dude, I had Jerry Judy as like the backup rolls. It's like, you know how there's the main rolls where the host has. It's like, the host has the main rolls, which are usually pretty good, but it's like some aunt or someone brings like another roll that it's like no one gives any attention to. So usually they're not even warm. They're kind of just sitting there room temperature. It's like, who brought these rolls? It's like, they should be good. I should be able to dip them in gravy. I should be able to make sandwiches with them the next day. They're from Alabama, right? But no, I think they're crusty backup rolls is what Jerry Judy.
I think that's perfect. And you keep eating, you keep grabbing another one because you think, maybe it'll be better. Like he gets the volume, the rolls are getting the volume, but just they never deliver,
It's like, yeah, you talk yourself into it. It's like, it's bread. How bad could it be? And then you have it for a little bit, and you're like, oh, my God, dude, even in gravy, this is no good. Apologize to Jerry Judy. All right, if the Bills had a team Thanksgiving dinner, would Keon Coleman be invited?
I don't think he would. He might be invited. I don't think he's going.
He would show up like after dinner. It's
after
like
they've done the wishbone and everything. Like
it's like 5. And most people are asleep on the couch already. It's like the Bengals game's on already. It's like, oh, Keon's here and he's high as shit.
Yeah, just pulled up.
Player in a food coma. Who is going to disappoint the rest of the year?
I'm going Ja'Cory Krosky-Merritt.
Whoa.
Mr. Bill. So I just feel like he hasn't really lived up to the preseason hype, and he's either in a committee or lost his job to Chris Rodriguez, neither of which is good. And I think the schedule's fairly tough the rest of the way for them too. Like I know they have Denver this week, and I think they've got some tricky ones after that too. So yeah, I think JCM's in a food coma. You know, he got all that preseason volume, and now he's just coming down off it.
Dude, the preseason gobble by Johnny. Dude, you'll get a text from
Gobble from Johnny.
Anytime you mention JCM on the pod, I get a text. I get a, you don't know what you're talking about. How can you have a podcast? Whenever you mention that guy, so good luck to you.
He's definitely gonna hit me up when this goes live.
Yeah. All right, mine is Javonte. I just don't like the next 4 weeks. I think it's kind of trending down anyway. The volume's still there, but it's KC, Detroit, Minnesota, the Chargers the next 4, and I just don't see huge games, especially this week against Kansas City. Javonte's best days are behind him, and it's going to be a damn, Johnny's guy again. We didn't plan.
Yeah, sorry, Johnny.
Sorry, Johnny. All right, most underrated Thanksgiving dish and most underrated dynasty asset.
So I have these two as the same. Sweet potato casserole.
Whoa.
And most underrated, as is Drake May, because the thing that ties them together is that the real ones know they're elite. Okay, that's all that matters. You know, the people, you know, we can talk about all this Josh Allen this, Lamar Jackson that, but at the end of the day, if you have a 22-year-old, 23-year-old stud quarterback who's going to be the next one of those guys, like he's just elite, and he's always got a place on the team, and sweet potato casserole always has a place on my plate.
Dude, I had the exact same most underrated Thanksgiving dish.
Let's go.
Sweet potato casserole with pecans and the brown sugar coating. It's like, sometimes I don't even eat real potatoes until the next day because the sweet potatoes are so good. It's like, I need my third helping of them. It's talked about as like a complimentary option. It's not. It's a full-blown stud. It's a star. You can lean on it to carry your team, focal point of your offense. A little bit like Drake May.
Love it.
So Drake May, is he QB, dynasty QB what?
Ooh. I don't think he's lower than 2.
Whoa.
But I think it's, I mean, Dolan asked me this when he was staying over a couple weeks ago. Like, would I take Jaden Daniels for Drake May straight up? And I don't think I would. And Neil hit me up before the deadline asking about like a Josh Allen Drake May swap. And like, I wouldn't add anything on top of Drake May to go get Josh Allen. And I don't know if I would get 6 years older for the Josh Allen upside like that. But I also understand that, like, again, historical benefit of the doubt, kind of like the Jamar Puka discussion. Like, maybe it's crazy to say he's 1 overall right now, but he's definitely 2 at the worst.
So here's why I think I'd take the Josh one, only because he's proved the rushing. Like, he's proved that he wants to run the ball. He's proved that he runs goal line, and he's proved that they're okay with him doing it. Drake May, I'm not like, there was rushing, like you saw it a little last year. It's been a little like not there, if that's the right way to phrase it, this year. And so if he's not like a real runner, I don't think he hits the ceiling as those other guys. Yeah. Even if he's a lot younger.
That's fair. That's
fair.
Yeah.
Dude, my sweet potato casserole comp is way more boring, so we're gonna skip it.
It's your show.
Yeah, dude, Braylon Allen. Long story. All right.
Going from Drake May to Braylon
Yeah, I
Allen
know,
discussion
that's
is
what I was
real whiplash.
Yeah, we'll talk Braylon Allen another app. All right, rank the pies: pumpkin, pecan, apple, sweet potato, cherry. Any more you'd like to add in there?
I'm gonna go apple 1, pecan 2, pumpkin 3, and then I'm not a cherry guy, so that would probably be last. What was the other one you said?
Sweet potato.
Sweet potato. I'll go sweet potato. Yeah, it's like the casserole. I'll go that above the cherry pie for sure. But I think when I think pie, I'm definitely thinking like apple or pecan. Pumpkin is like, you can't deny the results, but
dude, it's consistent.
Yeah,
It's
consistent.
consistent.
Yeah.
All right, optimal Thanksgiving Day, right? Say you get to wherever you're going at like noon. Optimal number of drinks before your big meal. Not apps, but before the big meal. And we're talking beer, alcoholic. No, water doesn't count.
Yeah.
Sparkling cider.
I wasn't
doesn't
including the
count.
non-alcoholic,
Right.
but
Yeah.
I mean, I think the safe, tried and true answer is like 3 to 4. You go in with that nice buzz. Like everyone loves a good 3-4 drinks. I think for our crew that number might be a little bit higher, but yeah. So I'll go 3 to 4 before and after the meal. I think you hit a nice 6-7. Like you got a good 6 to 7 drinks.
Yeah.
And then maybe a shot of fire rum in the mix, and you're feeling pretty good at that point.
Dude, shot of fire rum, you're never feeling good. Dude, I think you're. Dude,
That might have to be the next show's sponsor.
Fire, yeah, sponsored by
Jamaican Fire Rum.
Jamaican Fire Rum. Dude, I think you're low.
I think I'm low.
Yeah, I think beforehand you want at least 5, maybe 6. If you add a shot in there, right, that goes down super quick. So it's like, it's not like you're not going to hold a drink the whole time. So I think you're low, depending on, say, if you have about 3 hours when you get there till you eat, then I think you want to be at 6.
That's fair.
Then you're like, the food's going to taste better. I think you're low.
I think that's right. I think that's right. I was thinking too, the first beer doesn't actually count, so it's like you have one beer.
Good point.
Yeah, you have one beer, and then it's like, okay, then 3 to 4.
Yeah. How many Tums are you gonna have tomorrow? Over under 7.5.
Ooh, under. I had a heartburn for the first time ever at your wedding at the because I had like 6 Miami Vices in a day, so that was on me. But yeah, so I'm gonna go under because
under 7 Tums.
Under
Dude,
7
if
Tums.
I had them there, I'd be over. It's just like how, like if they're in your pocket, especially if they're the gummy ones, I think for sure over. Oh yeah, if you never had those, dude, it's like a dessert. It's like I'd rank it probably behind sweet potato pie, ahead of cherry.
What's the player comp?
Oh, that's a great question. It's like someone who's like a really average passer but a good runner. It's like a normal Tums is like a pocket passer, but it's like Justin Fields.
Like a Justin Fields.
His chewy Tums, but really good, solid. If you've never had them, I'll see if I can get some for tomorrow.
Nice.
All right, is the Black Friday game the best NFL game of the year?
I was thinking about this, and originally I wanted to say no, and I was maybe going to go with Thanksgiving morning, but I think I've come around, and I think Black Friday might be the best slot.
Dude, I think it's the best game of the year. Wait, I want to hear why for you first before I say my opinion.
I think just it's just a day where nothing's going on, like
exactly.
You're coming out of the food coma. It's perfect to just like throw on the game and just like rot on the couch and just do nothing. Like it's just a perfect day for doing that.
Excuse to not go to the mall. It's like, oh babe, like online shop. We have the Black Friday game.
Yeah.
It's like, why do we leave the house?
Tagline.
Like you said, a little hungover, like food coma. You kind of slept in. It's like, oh, what am I gonna do today? I really don't want to do anything athletic. There's a game on. I don't have to go shopping.
Easy.
Dude, I think it's the ideal game.
It is an ideal game.
Thanksgiving's right there, but it's like a single game. It's like it's the 3 of them. That's the combination, or at least the 2 of the first 2 for Thanksgiving are like incredible. And then, but it's like as a single game, I think Black Friday game might be the best game all year.
Yeah, I think growing up too, because it was always the Lions and the Cowboys, those were not always the best games watching on Thanksgiving.
Yeah,
so like
good point.
I like having football on in the background on Thanksgiving, but up until recently, like those games have always been hard
This year's gonna
ones
be
to
good.
watch. But this year's going to be good, so I'm excited about that.
All right. Who is the NFL equivalent, and it doesn't have to be a player, anyone NFL-wise, to the annoying relative that you only see on Thanksgiving?
I got a trio here. All right,
Oh.
nightmare blunt rotation. It's gonna be Russell Wilson.
Oh my
'Cause-
God, that's such a good one. That's the answer.
He's
Just
just
the
the
answer.
worst.
It's the worst.
Aaron Rodgers, I feel like you got to throw in
Yep.
there. Just
The worst.
conspiracy theorist. His brain is mush now.
Wait, that's actually a really good one.
And then I'm not a Nick Bosa guy. Getting outside, like I'm going on defensive side here. I'm not a Nick Bosa guy. The dude is just kind of annoying with flashing his little red hat around. So
I think you're on it. I think Russell Wilson is a great answer. I think Rodgers is probably the answer.
I feel like he'd be the
Just-
most like common answer.
All right. Which player is the Macy's Day Parade? Flair on the surface, but actually really boring.
I'm gonna go. I had a couple answers for this one too, so I'm curious your thoughts on these. Justin Fields
Ooh.
is up there because there's a lot of flair, and like from a fantasy perspective, we like it. We like him, but in real life, like just not that great. And then Kyle Pitts, I think, kind of fits in the same same arena there. And then I gotta throw my boy Keon Coleman in there too because
Keon
it's
Coleman.
just disappointing.
The one I like the best is Kyle Pitts, but like 3 years ago, he had 1,000 receiving yards as a rookie. What blah blah blah, and he's the best tight end prospect ever. But now it's just like nobody cares. He sucks.
Yeah.
You want my answer?
I agree. Yeah,
Jalen Hurts.
that's a good one.
Dude, it's supposed to be the best offense in the league. He's the leader of the best offense in the league. They won the Super Bowl. They're boring as shit. Most of his games are boring. I hate the tush push. Macy's Day Parade.
That's a great one. I like that.
Dude, seeing
So originally I thought we were going to be doing a little more like player comps to food, like 1-to-1.
That's my bad.
So no, it's totally fine. But what I had for the turkey was Jalen Hurts because
Drop.
it's like the proven center of the show, but some would argue that the sides are the real star of the show.
Wait, that's a good one. Wait, you want to rip all your comps real quick?
I got some good ones in here.
Wait, yeah. Rip them all.
I got mashed potatoes is Cam Scattaboo because everybody loves him, but his brain is just mashed potatoes.
He would be a WWE superstar.
He would.
He actually might be an NFL superstar too, but
Yeah, agreed. I've got mac and cheese. So is Travis Hunter because there's a debate over their role as a two-way player. You know, is mac and cheese really a Thanksgiving side, or is
No.
that just for
Dude, it's
everything? So yeah,
Let's go bring back Take Montezuma. Mac and cheese is not an OG Thanksgiving side. This is a new invention in the last 20 years.
I think that's fair. I personally love it, but I also
Good.
didn't grow up having mac and cheese as part of the spreads. But maybe like down south or something, it's a little more common.
Dude, when you have
I don't
like
know.
3 types of potatoes, you don't need mac and cheese.
That's fair.
When you have 3 Cam Scattabos, why would you need Travis Hunter?
Yeah, exactly. Let's see. What are some other ones I got in here? AJ Dillon was beet salad because that was just one of my worst trades. And I had your boy Devon Achan as pumpkin pie because never been like a priority to put on my plate or on my team, but you just can't deny the skill and the consistency and those performances that they put in. So,
Dude, I appreciate you saying that because I love pumpkin pie and I love Devon Achan like, equally. I love them both. I love them both so much. But I'm going to come to a Take Montezuma that he's in the same tier as Gibbs and Bijan at some point.
I can see the argument for it for sure.
All he does is score fantasy points.
Exactly. Yeah.
I don't care if
like
he's skinny.
you take the rest out, and like the dude just puts up 20 a week. So that's what you
It's
need.
like you don't care if pumpkin pie is like light in the middle, right? It's like delicious and it tastes like pumpkin. It's perfect. It's a perfect compliment. You don't feel too heavy afterwards. That's a good one.
Cool. And then my last one, just because we're running long, George Pickens is apple pie because he's balling out for America's team, and that's as American as apple pie.
Yeah, there we go, dude. And on that, man, happy Thanksgiving to everybody. Thanks for listening, Ashton. We gotta get you over 4.5 drinks tomorrow.
Easy, no problem.
That's my goal. All right, episode 27, Crush Fantasy Football Podcast.